Do you remember those pirate skeletons in your aquarium? You would hook air tubing up to them and they would bubble and move in some way. Well, I've always been obsessed with these things. I think it's the green color where it looks like algae growing on them. I've only ever had one in my life, and it happened when I was a little kid back in the 70s. It was this one right here. The air bubbles would build up inside the lid, and the lid would lift up, and it looked like the skeleton was popping out of the barrel. Well, to me, that was one of the coolest things in the world. So what I want to do is go ahead and make one of these almost life-size. I say almost life-size because the skeleton is about 5 feet tall. Anyway, let's get into this. Okay, so here's a shot of the cheap Walmart skeleton that we're going to start with. This should be proved to be fairly easy. We're only going to need a couple things. Here's the color that I chose. This is a fluorescent green. And this is how we're going to be able to remove the spray paint. This stuff works beautifully. It really does. It turns spray paint into like water. You just wipe it off with a paper towel. But you'll see that. Okay, so once again, here he is before. He is jointed. He's semi-posable. Legs move, the knees, feet, hands, elbows. You can move his arms up and down, his jaw's open. He is about 5 feet tall. I don't know if they're actually billed as being life-size, but you know, he's close enough. All right, well, he's ready to go out to the garage and get underway. You can see how we have the green barely visible. I don't want to say barely visible, but you see how the green is, it looks like it's algae growing on him. That's the look that we're going to be going for. I'm not sure it's going to turn out exactly the way I want it, but we're going to give it our best. All right, here we are out in the garage. I've got him laid out on a big piece of cardboard so I don't spray paint the ground. Right over here, there's my reference guy. And I think the first thing we're going to do is probably the skull, of course. I want to get the eye sockets and the nose. And I want to leave all the green in there, because if you look at this guy's eye sockets and the recesses in his face, it's all green. So that's what we're going to be hoping to achieve. Okay, so on this first coat, we're actually going to go rather thick and probably pretty much paint the entire skull, because that other stuff will eat this spray paint right off. All right, so here we go. I just want to make sure I get into the eye sockets, especially. And we'll do just the front. We want to get down inside all the recessed areas mainly. I wasn't even paying attention to what I was filming for a second. And then once he's done on this side, we will flip him over, of course, and do the other side. But I'm really anxious to show how well that spray paint remover works, because that stuff is, like I said, it is unbelievable. Okay, I want to get in there. Actually, it's not looking too bad already. Just a little bit of paint removal. But I want to get, once again, inside those eye sockets really well. Inside the mouth. Do the top of the head. Okay. We're going to let him dry for a bit, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I just gave him a quick touch. He's dried up, got him flipped over, and we're just going to do the exact same thing on the back. And there he is. The back is all painted. Now we're just going to let him sit and dry. I think the paint says 15 minutes. So I'll just give it the max time, give it 15 minutes. And we'll be back to use the spray paint, the graffiti remover. Okay, now, once again, this is Goof Off Pro Strength Graffiti Remover. All right, now we're going to do this little section of the armory here, just to give you an idea of how this works. You see it's just eating it right off. So what we want to do is the flat areas, the areas that aren't recessed. Just going to give it some shot with this. And then, where did that go? We can wipe off with a paper towel any that's left, and hopefully that will leave some down in the recessed areas. So it's that simple. Just spray it on. I mean, even once it's on the paper towel, just a little bit of light rubbing will start to take it right off. All right, so I'm not going to bore you to death and have you watch this whole thing get done, but I'm just going to do that to the entire skeleton, and I'll be right back. Okay, so for the big finale, here we go. That is him. That's what he looks like. You get a little bit closer so you can see some of the... I left a lot of the green in there. I found that as I was wiping it off, it actually looked better to have a little bit more green because he was starting to look like he was just totally unpainted. So I left a lot of the green on there. And in comparison, we go from that to that. Now, if I can just find an eye patch for him, I'll be in business. All right, well, thanks for watching, and happy Halloween.